Okay, revision for Unit 3, higher test. Right, Chloe recorded the test marks of 20 students. Show it in an ordered stem and leaf diagram. Okay, bit of a clue here. There's a big, massive space here. So I'm going to draw it twice. The first time, just put them in the categories. The second time, in order. So I've got teens and I've got up to the 40s. So 1 for the teens, 2 for the 20s, 3 for the 30s, 4 for the 40s. Right, 22, 29, 38, 16, 36, 18, 30, 21, 27, 43. I've got 14, I've got 41, 25, 38, 46, 19, 48, 34, 23 and 46. Right, I'm going to do it again, and this time in order. I'm going to use a ruler. Obviously you would use a ruler, but I haven't got one. I haven't worked it out yet. So, in order, you would have 4, then 6, then 8, and then 9, all evenly spaced. In the 20s, I've got a 1, then a 2, then a 3, a 5, a 7, and a 9. In the 30s, I've got a 0, 4, 6, and 2 8s. And in the 40s, I've got a 1, a 3, 2 6s, and an 8. And then I need a key. So my key is that 1, 4 equals 14. If there'd been units, I'd have put that in there. Now the reason for stem and leaf, it's like a sideways bar chart if you think, because when it's in order, you can actually see sort of the size of the bar charts. If it had been done like that, you'd have even bar charts there. But actually that one would be a bit shorter, wouldn't it? Let's draw that one again. But you're still keeping the detail, aren't you? You're keeping the fine detail. Obviously you can't do it for massive pieces of data, but you can still see where the actual median is, the individual results, which you couldn't if you'd grouped it. Okay, so one of these students is going to be chosen at random and find the probability that they have a test mark less than. Okay, first time I did it, I read it as more than. Right, 28 would go here. Okay, so I'm going to see how many are in that category. I count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that is 9 out of 20. Okay, and I'd simplify it if it could. So you need to be really careful. Remember, 9 is just the amount. Okay, a probability is always between 0 and 1. Right, Mr. Kent's students did a maths test and a science test. The scatter graph shows the marks of 12 students. Okay, I'm just going to minimise that a little bit. Right, Masood got 12 and 14, so 12 on the maths and 14 on the science. Nice fine pencil line. Nima got 17 and 20, so 17 and 20, that's going to go there. What type of correlation does this scatter graph show? Type is like negative, positive, or no. Okay, you can see it's increasing, so it's negative. Okay, and you could say strong, negative, weak, you know, that sort of thing. Right, David did the maths test. He was absent for the science. David's mark in the maths test was 15. Estimate a science mark for David. You have to put in, you have to, otherwise you won't get the mark, a line of best fit. So I'm actually going to try and put in a line. Okay, oops, sorry. That hasn't really worked, has it? Oops, I've lost it. Right, so I'm just going to draw it. Obviously, it's not going to work that way. So I'm going to draw a line instead. Oops. So you will use a ruler and try and get an even amount both sides. You don't even have to go through any points, okay, but it should be a straight line with a ruler, absolutely straight. And then you read off, he got 15, so with my ruler I would go and I would show the examiner actually on the paper. Right, now be very careful. It's not 17.1 because there are 5 spaces, so each one is 0.2, so it's 17.2. So the answer is 17.2. And in real life, this is what they do. So this is a real life thing. Right, Carlos has a cafe in Clacton. Each day records the maximum temperature in degrees Celsius and the number of hot chocolate drinks sold. Well, thinking about it, in real life, they're going to put it in context. So I would expect in the winter, lots of people want hot chocolate. In the summer, they're going to go want for a nice iced slushy or something like that. So I would think it will go down as the temperature increases. On another day, the maximum temperature was 6 and 35 hot chocolate drinks were sold. Show it. So, maximum temperature, this scale, 6, and he did 35. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put it there. Nice fine pencil. Right, describe the relationship. Now, it doesn't say correlation like the last question, so it wants a sentence rather than negative, positive, etc. Okay, so the relationship is as the temperature increases, less or fewer, it's a funny F, drinks are sold. And then you could put in brackets negative correlation. But it wanted a description. It wanted you to understand what was actually happening, okay, rather than positive or negative. Draw a line of best fit. Again, you would use a ruler, and again, you don't actually have to go through any of the points. So, one day the maximum temperature was 8. Use your line of best fit to estimate how many drinks were sold. So you show the examiner, you actually show them where you got that from. So on mine, it looks like it's going to be 24, and I would put it on there as well. So 24 drinks are sold. These are lovely marks that, you know, there's not much maths to it in that way. It's more about applying it. Right, Jamal plays 15 games of 10-pin bowling. Here are his scores, right? Again, I'm going to do it twice, okay? I can see some in the 60s. Oh no, there's a 50 and I got up to 80. So, let's have a look. Again, you must do it with a ruler, unlike me. 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Right, 72, 59, 75, 66, 79, 75, 66 again, 63, 89, 76, 65, 79, 77, 71 and 83. So I'm going to do it again with a ruler, you will do, a nice pencil. 50, 60, 70, 80, 9, right, 3, 5, 6, 6. Remember to keep them all lined up. Right, I've got a 1, maybe it's best to cross them off. A 2, 2 5s, 5, 5, a 6, a 7 and 2 9s. And then lastly a 3 and a 9. Don't forget your key. Key 72 equals 72. If there were some units, I would put that in. Right, Jill plays 15 games. The table gives some information about her scores. So, highest score, lowest score and mean. Compare. Right, when you compare with data, you have to always talk about a range and talk about an average. Okay, right, we've only got the mean for Jill, so although we could find the median for Jamal, we're going to have to find his mean as well. We're going to have to add them all up together. And when I added all of these up, so with my calculator, get my calculator out, and I should have got 1095. And there's 15 games played, so I divide by 15, and you should get that the mean's 73. Right, his highest score is 89, and his lowest score is this one, 59, so his range must be 30. So he's got a range of 30 and a mean of 73. Now I can, so what did I say? A range of 30 and a mean of 73. This is Jamal. And Jill has got, let's compare, a mean of 80 and her highest is 95, take away 75. So she's got a range of 20. Okay, so those are my two ranges and these are my two means. Right, what does that actually mean? So it says compare. So on average, I'm going to talk about the mean. On average, Jill scores higher than Jamal. Then you have to give the evidence with a mean of 80 compared to his 73. And then you say Jill's scores. And when you talk about the range, you're talking about variance and consistency, how similar, how different they are more consistent, means they're closer together, with a range of 20 compared to Jamal's of 30. So a bit of writing there. Always just talk about the range and then talk about the average.